This right here is the Apple MacBook Air M5. It looks extremely familiar, but inside, Apple has upgraded the power for this device, including the storage, improved wireless connectivity, added more power for AI and creative work, and then more importantly, it is a significant upgrade if you're coming from an older Mac, depending on what Mac you're coming from. I've been using this for about a week now, and I got to tell you, I'm just going to go over some of the design features, display, performance metrics, battery life, ports, cameras, speakers, software, and then my overall feel of how I use it. And then comparing it to something that a lot of people are common and familiar with is the M1, because a lot of people are coming from that Model 2 as well. And this would be a good upgrade, I think, from the M1. So without further ado, this is not a benchmark studio performance. This is just a raw, real review of the MacBook M5, the MacBook Air M5. Okay, so now that we're going to get into it, this is going to be what the MacBook Air M5 comes equipped with. As you can see right here, it is the 15-inch model that you can see right here. Massive display in terms of an upgrade in comparison to the M1 itself. You got a massive trackpad on the actual device itself, and it does come with a fingerprint reader standard. Unlike the Neo, the MacBook Air now used to be the entry-level model, now is basically it's now the actual model, like the mid-tier model. What you're going to also get with this model is you're going to get the, let me just focus here. You're going to get a 40-watt power adapter that comes with it. You can upgrade this significantly with your own power adapter. That should be fine, but I like that they have a 40-watt that comes with it. I also do have a 60 or 110 watt that I plug into it, and it charges significantly faster. It's up to you what you want to do with it. It just comes standard with it. So the one I'm testing is going to be the 15-inch model. It does have a 10 core GPU and 10 core CPU. And the nice thing is that it doesn't come with the 8 gigs anymore. That's reserved for the MacBook Neo. It comes with 16 gigs of unified memory, which is going to help you out in terms of, getting all your applications on here, and then more importantly, multitasking within the laptop itself. So the design of it with the MacBook Air is going to be significantly different coming from an M1 Mac, but not significantly different coming from an M4 MacBook. As you can see, quite thin display, quite thin frame. It also is going to come with your standard 3.5 meter headphone jack. As well as that, it's going to come with, if you look on this side, it's going to come with a MagSafe, and also come with 2 USB 3.1 ports that are going to allow you to charge, and then more importantly, connect your devices too. The MagSafe is a great option. It's definitely an upgrade. If you're coming from an M1, from an M4, you're not going to see any significant difference. It's going to be the same, but it is nice so that way it's snagless. So if you do snag on something, it's not going to rip your whole laptop to shreds. The nice thing about the MacBook Air in comparison to the Neo, though, is going to be a standardized fingerprint reader and B standardized backlit keyboard, which if you're working through the night, this is going to be a real performance enhancer because you can actually see what you're typing. Now, it is also a little bit bigger and bulkier because it is the 15-inch model, but it does weigh in about only 3.3 pounds or 1.51 kilograms, and the 15-inch model is roughly around 0.45 inches thick. So it's not that bad. Now, in terms of the display, for some reason on every MacBook I've ever had in my life, they've all collected kind of fingerprints. You kind of have to wipe them down. This is no exception with the 15-inch model. I don't know what it is with Apple. It's just something they do. I think they just want you to consistently clean it. I'm not sure. Or maybe buy a third-party product. But yeah, with this display itself, you're going to get the 15-inch. It's going to be, I believe, 15.3 inches with a resolution of 2880 by 1864, which is equal to a liquid retina IPS display. And it's going to have about 500 nits in brightness, which is actually quite exceptional. You'll be able to use it in daylight and whatnot. If you're out and about in like a park or something and it's really bright out, it might be hard to see. But for the most part, in regular rooms, in regular office settings and whatnot, you're able to see quite fine. And even if there's light coming through the window, which I have a lot of light in my house, it works pretty fine. It's not bad at all. in my experience, I've had no issues with it. But also more importantly with this display is it's also going to have a P3 wide color gamut, a true tone, and support for about 1 million colors or 1 billion colors, which if you're doing any video editing or if you're doing basic like photo editing, it's going to be great for that. I would say it's not totally top notch in terms of its performance. It's a 60 hertz display versus a 120 that you're going to find on the Pro models. But for mostly everyday users, this is going to be great, and it's going to be an improvement over, if you do have a 15-inch model, it's going to be an improvement over like the Neo or something like that because of the size. The M5 performance I found with this device, I'm going to tell you right now, I use a lot of web browsing. I do a lot of email editing, stuff like that. You will see a performance boost with editing video. You will see a performance boost with you know, maybe running multiple applications. And I think that's from the unified memory bump up from 16 gigs in comparison to 8 gigs. That's going to give you a significant advantage when it comes to multitasking and getting things done. Versus when you're using the M1 or you're using a Neo, you're not going to have that. Especially a Neo, you're going to have less. You know, you're going to have just the 8 gigs, and you might want to, if you boot up Final Cut Pro or you know, even Windows or even Microsoft Office, and you're running Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, you're going to notice that you're running those 3 applications, and then more importantly, running all the other applications that you use, Safari, Chrome, whatever, Mail, you're going to have a better time overall with the M5 MacBook Air, because it's going to be able to handle those multitasking functionality a lot better. Now, in terms of the camera, okay, so you can see over the fingerprints here. So the camera right there, and don't mind me, my son's kid stuff is behind you. So the camera itself is going to be a 1080p camera that's going to be front and center, and that's going to be for your FaceTime, for your video calling, whatever you need to do. That's going to be about a 1080p camera, and it's 12 megapixel. It's fine. It works great. I have no issues with it. It does the job, especially for Zoom calls and whatnot. That's fine. For the speaker, you're going to get a Dolby Atmos speaker. So it's going to have Dolby Atmos built in. They are pretty good. We could do a little clip later. They are pretty good in terms of how they sound. In comparison to the M1, I mean, if you want a high quality speaker, you're going to connect it to a higher quality speaker. You're going to go to, you're going to connect it to your sound system in your house, or you might use headphones in the airport, whatnot. But in terms of, everyday use, they are pretty good. We can do a little bit of test with that. Battery life in itself, 18 hours, which is good. Battery life at 18 hours is good. You're not going to have any issues. I'd say that's pretty standard for a MacBook Air now. The MacBook Neo is 16 hours. The MacBook Air is 18 hours, which for someone that's going to be using it for web browsing, working, or whatever, that's significant, especially when traveling. This is great for that. The Wi-Fi has been upgraded. They call it the N1. It's from Apple. It's going to be the upgraded version of their previous Wi-Fi. I believe Snapdragon or Qualcomm made the last chip. I can confirm on that through the video, but the N1 is good. I've had no issues with connecting to Wi-Fi itself. The speed tests I've not reached the maximum speed on this through my ISP. I do have a Wi-Fi 7 router, and I have a mesh system in my house, which some computers reach to the top speed and some don't. It depends on, I guess, the computer. So I would say for the Wi-Fi 7, it does work well. I mean, there could be some improvements through software. Again, 60 hertz display, MagSafe 3 for charging, full backlit keyboard. You're going to have a good time with this laptop in terms of your form and function. But really, I would say in this situation, the main verdict at the end of the day, this laptop is going to be good for someone that is coming from a MacBook M1 or someone that's trying to upgrade their Mac from an older Mac. If you're buying a newer Mac, or if you're dipping your feet into the Mac ecosystem, I would say try to look for a used M1. If you're already in the Mac ecosystem and have a MacBook Air base model, an old model, then I would say this would be a significant upgrade. The M5 with the 16 gigabytes of memory, with the 16 gigabytes of memory, and with the just with the M5 chip, you're going to have something that's going to perform for years to come, and you're not going to have to worry about upgrading right away. And 18-hour battery life is a significant plus. So if you like this video, this is a quick and dirty review, a raw review of the MacBook M1. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth with some of the features in here, but please like and subscribe anyway, and I'm going to continue on.